far away, he saw Krishna's foot and thought it was a deer hiding in the bushes. Without knowing the truth, he shot an arrow. The arrow hit Krishna's foot. Streets were covered. Homes disappeared beneath the water. The grand city slowly submerged into the ocean. When Krishna knew Kali Yuga had begun, the submerging of Dwarka, after the great Mahabharata war, peace slowly returned to the land. Kingdoms were rebuilt, and people tried to move forward with their lives. But Krishna began to notice something troubling. People were changing. Arguments started over small matters. Greed slowly replaced gratitude. Even within the same families, brothers fought brothers, friends turned against each other, and trust began to fade. Krishna watched quietly. He understood what others could not. The age of Dwapara Yuga was coming to an end, and Kali Yuga, the age in which righteousness gradually declines, had already begun. Krishna knew that every age has its purpose, and when that purpose is fulfilled, it must give way to the next. He realized that his work on earth was complete. The time had come for him to depart, and for Dwarka to disappear from the world. Dwarka was no ordinary city. It had been built with divine purpose, and as long as Krishna lived there, the city stood protected. But now the cycle of time was changing. Before leaving, Krishna ensured that the people of Dwarka moved to safer lands. Families gathered their belongings and slowly walked away from the shining city they once called home. Krishna remained until the very end. He wanted to be certain that no life was left behind. When the city finally grew quiet, Krishna took one last look at Dwarka. There was no sadness on his face, only acceptance. He understood a simple truth. Nothing in the material world is meant to last forever. Soon after Krishna departed, the sea began to rise. The waves moved toward the city. Streets were covered. Homes disappeared beneath the water. The grand city slowly submerged into the ocean. It was not sudden destruction. It was the closing of an era. Dwarka sank because its time had ended, just as Dwapara Yuga ended and Kali Yuga began. The time had come for Krishna to leave the earth. After finishing everything he was born to do, Krishna knew his journey was ending. The world was changing, and it was time for him to go. He quietly walked into a forest and lay down near the entrance of a cave. The place was very peaceful. No noise, no people, just silence. Krishna rested on the ground like he was simply going to sleep. One of his feet was slightly visible through the grass. At the same time, a hunter named Jara was moving through the forest with his bow, looking for a deer. From far away, he saw Krishna's foot and thought it was a deer hiding in the bushes. Without knowing the truth, he shot an arrow. The arrow hit Krishna's foot. When the hunter came closer, he suddenly stopped. His heart started racing. The hunter immediately fell to the ground and started crying.
I am really sorry, my lord. I didn't know it was you.
I thought it was a deer. Please forgive me. I never wanted to hurt you. Krishna looked at him calmly. There was no anger on his face, no pain, only kindness. He softly said,
"Do not be afraid. It was meant to happen."
The hunter kept crying, but Krishna continued,
"My time on earth is over. This was destined. You were just a reason for it, not the cause."
So don't blame yourself. Hearing this, The hunter felt a little peace, but tears still rolled down his face. The forest became very still. Even the wind felt softer. And in that quiet moment, Krishna gently closed his eyes and left his human form. But Krishna never truly leaves. Whenever there is goodness, whenever people stand for what is right, whenever kindness exists, Krishna is always there. On the lonely coast of the frozen south, where the sea whispers against walls of ice, lived a pair of penguins who were known across their colony. They fished together, walked side by side, and shared warmth when the bitter white winds howled through the night. But one winter changed everything. As the ocean storms raged and the waves became fangs, his partner dived into the water for fish and never resurfaced. The colony waited. He waited more than anyone. Days passed, then weeks. The storm moved on, but she did not return. In the beginning, he called out for her, a cry high and sharp that cut through the frozen air. Other penguins answered, trying to comfort him. But comfort was not what he wanted. All he wanted was her. Seasons changed. Summer melted the ice, winter froze it back again. Yet every morning he stood at the shore, eyes fixed at the horizon, as if believing that maybe this time her small shape would break through the waves and waddle back to him. 2 years passed like this, then 4, then 10. With each passing season, his coat lost its shine, his steps grew slower, but his eyes, they never stopped searching. One morning, without ceremony and without any sound, he turned away from the ocean for the very first time, not because he had forgotten, but because he finally understood that she wasn't coming home. He began to walk inland, toward the mountains. No penguin does that. There is no fish there, no colony, no reason to go. But love has never asked for reasons. He walked until the ice grew jagged, until the snow swallowed his little footprints, until the wind was the only witness. 100 kilometers from the place where he first met her, he found a small hollow between ancient rocks. There, with the sky turning purple and gold, he tucked his head into his feathers and closed his eyes for the last time. Some say he died of exhaustion. Others say it was the cold. But nature has its own language, and in that language it was simple. He waited as long as he could, and when waiting became heavier than living, he chose to carry his love somewhere the ocean could not remind him of what he lost. The colony never saw him again. They were 5 friends, worked every day in a remote forest area. The path to their worksite passed through lonely roads, mountains, and thick trees. One evening, as they were returning home, they smelled something delicious in the air. The smell of fresh food cooking in the forest. Following the aroma, they found a small dhaba, roadside food hut, run by a woman they had never seen before. She was calm, silent, and strangely smiling without blinking. "Come, children, food is ready." The 5 friends were hungry, so they sat down to eat. The food tasted unbelievably good, better than anything they had eaten in their life. After eating, each of them went one by one behind the dhaba to wash their hands. but none of them returned, because the moment they stepped behind the hut, something strong grabbed them, and a whispering voice, one by one, all five, and dragged to an open field in the middle of the forest. There, they all fell asleep as if drugged, all except one, Mani. Mani had woken up before the devil realized it. He kept his eyes half closed, pretending to sleep. What he saw next, he would never forget: a forest devil. She began preparing food again, but this time Mani saw something horrifying. The chickens and goats near the trees walked by themselves toward the cooking vessel, as if hypnotized. No one was killing them. They were sacrificing themselves. The devil began chanting a strange mantra. Kal Bojan, Atma de, Sharir de. With every chant, her body grew stronger. Then she turned to the unconscious men. Mani watched in terror as the devil picked up the first man, swallowed him whole, bones and all, then the second, then the third, then the fourth. She ate them one by one, chanting the same mantra after each feast. Mani's heart was beating out of his chest. And now she was coming toward him. Just when she was about to recite the mantra to consume him, Mani remembered something. When she chanted earlier, he had memorized the mantra perfectly. So before she could begin, Mani shouted the same mantra loudly. The devil screamed. The mantra turned her own power against her. Her body began burning. Fire erupted from inside her. She roared, "No, this is my mantra!" But Mani continued chanting louder and louder until finally the devil exploded into ash. Silence fell across the forest. It began with the sound of glass breaking. A small bottle slipped from a table and shattered on the cold floor. A glowing green liquid spread slowly across the tiles, sliding quietly into the drain that led straight to the river outside. No one noticed. No one stopped it. That single drop was enough to end the world. By morning, the river glowed faintly beneath the clouds. Children played in it. Villagers drank from it. And by nightfall, everything changed. The dogs howled first, then silence, then the screams. People stumbled through the streets, shaking violently, their veins turning black, their eyes pale. Some fell, only to stand up again, their bodies twisted, their mouths hungry. The infection spread faster than thought. Neighbors attacked neighbors. Families turned on each other. Every scream became part of one endless cry. Within days, the village was gone. The world was gone. Far from the chaos inside the same lab, two men sat in silence. They watched it all unfold. The fires, the panic, the end. But they weren't innocent. They were the ones who made the serum. Two scientists, two friends, who wanted to control life and death. Their greed had turned creation into destruction. Now they were the last survivors, trapped in their own nightmare. On a metal table lay a single glowing pill, the antivirus. It could heal the world, restore life. But it required one thing, a host. Whoever took it would die. One man wanted to save the world. The other wanted to keep the pill, to live as the last human on Earth. The fight began. Tables overturned, glass shattered, machines exploded, blood mixed with chemicals. They fought until the lab shook, until only one remained standing. Bleeding, gasping, he crawled to the table, picked up the pill, and looked at it one last time, and swallowed it. Light burst through his body. It spread across the lab, then through the sky, then across the entire world. The undead froze, the air cleared, the rivers turned blue again, and the earth began to breathe. It was a silent night, the kind where even the wind forgets to move. A full moon hung above the forest. A young man, around 25, stood there alone, waiting. But no train had come for hours. The air was cold, the fog thick. Everything felt wrong. Then, breaking the silence, came a faint whistle. From deep within the mist, a light appeared, dim, trembling. An old train slowly rolled into the station, creaking and hissing as if dragging memories of another time. There was no one inside, no passengers, no conductor. Still, the man stepped in. The doors closed by themselves, and the train began to move. Inside, the lights flickered weakly. The seats were empty, dusty. The only sound was the rhythm of the wheels. Click-clack, click-clack. But after a few moments, he noticed something. At the last seat of the coach, 2 people were sitting silently. He was sure no one had been there before. He blinked, rubbed his eyes. But they were real. As time passed, they seemed to move closer. Every time he looked back, they were 1 row ahead. The air turned colder. His heartbeat quickened. Then suddenly, they were gone. He turned around and froze. The 2 figures were now sitting right in his seat, their faces pale, eyes empty, staring straight ahead. Panic took over. He rushed to the emergency chain and pulled it, but the train sped up instead. The sound of wheels roared through the night. The fog outside turned into streaks of light. The ghosts started moving toward him, slowly, without a sound. Then, with a loud screech, the train stopped. He fell, gasping, and stumbled outside. When he turned back, the train had vanished into thin air. He stood alone beside the tracks, trembling. Then, 2 villagers appeared. They told him,
"In this place, every full moon day, there will be a train passing with a boy inside, but there are no train tracks or train..."
that every full moon night, a ghost train passes through this forest. But there are no railway tracks here anymore. He looked up, and the villagers were gone. He looked down and saw the tracks beneath his feet fading away, too. The forest was silent again. Only the echo of a train whistle floated through the mist, a train that no longer exists. On the sacred day of Ganesh Chaturthi, the divine son of Parvati and Shiva, Lord Ganesha, sat joyfully before a mountain of sweets. The fragrance of modaks and fruits filled the air, and the soft glow of lamps danced across his golden face. With every bite, the heavens smiled, but little did anyone know the night had its own mischief planned. Ganesha's love for sweets knew no end. He ate and ate until his divine belly grew round and full like the moon itself. Feeling heavy and sleepy, he decided to rest for a while. So he leaned back upon a wooden bench under the cool night sky. But oh, the poor bench gave way under his weight, and Lord Ganesha rolled onto the ground with a thud. The sweets scattered, the modaks bounced, and the quiet night echoed with a divine little laugh. And from above came a voice of mockery, Moon, Chandra, "Ha, ha, 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 look at you, Ganesha, so round, so clumsy, and now fallen." It was Chandra, the proud moon god, laughing with arrogance and pride. At first, Ganesha smiled gently, but when the moon's laughter grew cruel, the gentle lord turned fierce. "Ganesha, Chandra, your beauty has made you arrogant. You mocked me, the remover of obstacles, the one worshipped first by all. From this moment, whoever looks upon you on this night shall face misfortune. Your brilliance shall fade, your pride shall fall." The heavens trembled at the Lord's words. As darkness covered the skies, Chandra realized his mistake. His pride shattered, he descended from the heavens and bowed before Lord Ganesha. "Moon, forgive me, O Lord. I was blinded by my own glow. Without your blessing, even my light means nothing." Ganesha's anger melted into compassion. And comment, subscribed, and also like the video.
The Lion and the Clever Rabbit. In a thick green forest, all the animals lived in fear of a mighty lion. Every day, the lion would hunt and eat as many animals as he wished. The forest, once full of cheerful sounds, now echoed only with silence and fear. Tired of losing friends and family, the animals gathered to discuss a solution. Finally, they decided to speak to the lion. "Your Majesty," the animals said politely, trembling, "if you kill so many of us every day, none of us will be left. So we want to make a deal. Every day, one animal will come to you as your meal, but in return, you must not hunt anyone else." The lion thought for a moment and agreed. "Fine," he growled, "but if my meal doesn't come on time, I will hunt every animal I see." From the next day, one animal would go to the lion willingly. But soon it was the turn of a small, clever rabbit. The other animals felt sad. How will this tiny rabbit satisfy the lion? They wondered. But the rabbit was strangely calm. "I have a plan," he said softly, and set off. The rabbit did not go straight to the lion. Instead, he took his time, hopping slowly and intentionally, reaching the lion very late. By the time he arrived, the lion was furious. "You tiny creature, how dare you come so late? Do you want me to destroy the entire forest?" The lion roared. The rabbit, pretending to tremble, said, My lord, it wasn't my fault. We were coming in a group. But another lion stopped us and claimed he was the king of this forest. He said he could kill you easily." The real lion's pride burst like fire. "Another lion? In my forest? Take me to him right now." The rabbit nodded and guided the lion deep into the forest. Soon they reached an old well. The rabbit pointed inside. "My lord, he lives here. He said you're weak and he's stronger." Enraged, the lion looked inside and saw another lion staring back at him. It was, of course, only his reflection in the water, but blinded by anger, he didn't understand. "He dares to challenge me!" the lion roared and pounced straight into the well. With a mighty splash, the lion fell deep inside, drowning instantly. The clever rabbit peered over the edge and whispered, "Goodbye, Your Majesty." Then he quickly ran back to the other animals who had been waiting anxiously. "What happened? Where is the lion?" they asked. The rabbit smiled proudly. "The lion will never trouble us again." Joy spread throughout the forest, and the forest lived peacefully once more.